Hey there, it's Danny Stewart from bassjapandirect.com here, and it's just a quick test and a very short lesson as well. So first of all, thanks to the customer who bought this. We're about to ship it out, and just doing a little test to show you that it's working. And it's set up. It's set up to 1.5 at the 12th fret with your moderate relief, and it's playing nicely. So that's with the tone up on the front pickup, tone down. So that's sweet, balanced. Yep, that was balanced with the tone down, with the tone up. So it's all working very nicely. Unfortunately, it's going to take a long time to reach you, as I explained, unless you use UPS, which is rather expensive from Japan here, because everything is totally backed up right now because of the pandemic. So, but yeah, it's going into queue, and it'll take weeks before it's even boarded an aircraft. But basically, they're going to try and get it, they're trying to work through stuff as fast as they can with limited staff. And it's just backed up at all over the world and at both ends. So that's unfortunate. But, we do what we can do. So I appreciate your patience. And for the lesson part, which I'm going to do about, you notice I played a walking bass line earlier. Basically, it was over a 2-5-1 in G major. So in jazz, this is a very, very common chord progression to resolve back to the key. In G major, that's going to be an A minor 7, a D7, and then to G major 7. So that's called a 2-5-1. Why? Because A is the second note in the scale of of G, sorry. So there's the root, there's the second. There you go, so 2. So that's a minor 7, and 5 because it's the fifth note, and G because it's the first note is a 1, 2-5-1. So, but how can we walk through this? So, many of you probably already know how to play diatonic scale fragments to create a walk. But the thing is, that doesn't sound so interesting. It might sound like that. Okay, so yeah, if we want to add a little bit more spice to it, we can use altered scales. And you also should think about using motion as well. Like, that's going all over the place too much. I mean, it sounds all right, but it's going up and down and blah, blah, blah. If we use altered scales, we can achieve more of a sound like that, which sounds a lot more interesting. It has more tension, and it gives you more motion. That's upward motion. So let's check that out. What I'm doing there is going from A, and I'm playing up a diminished scale. And you'll notice it actually has the major third in it, but why does that major third work? Because of dominant 7 and minor 7 being sort of ambiguous, or those chords can have both characteristics. Like, for example, Jimi Hendrix's favorite chord, you know, the dominant 7 with the raised 9. The Hendrix chord, which you know is a typical example. Doesn't sound so good on the bass there. It's a little bit muddy on the bass there, but you know, it's got that sound. So it's got both minor and major. It's got both minor and major third in it. So that is how that walk sounds. Okay, going up the diminished scale. So we're going A diminished with a half step, whole step, half step, and then we're switching the same pattern to D. And then we resolving on the root. Okay, and that gives us interesting motion. And here, that's an upward motion. And now we can go with a downward motion, and this time we can use an augmented scale. So that's a whole tone scale. Right? And with the chords, that I'm going to have to play. Okay, so it has a different characteristic. You've got all of those tritones coming into it. Which gives it that you know, it gives it a much more interesting sound. And the beauty is once you learn this, you can mix and match to suit, and it will work. It does work. It works every time. I use it all the time. I use it a lot when I'm playing jazz gigs. When I'm going from minor 7 to dominant 7, I play whole tone or diminished a lot of the time. Sometimes I use the bebop scale. Or sometimes I use a different approach. But generally, these are my go-to. They work really, really well. So let's just reiterate those two again really, really slowly, and you can get the tablature in my subscriber area at my website. I haven't done a backing track for this one. It's just a little bit of theory and a little exercise that you can do. And of course, you can transpose it to any key. It works in any 2-5-1. You can apply it to any chord sequence which has a minor to a dominant 7 or a dominant 7 to another dominant 7. It doesn't matter. It will work on any of those. What it doesn't work with is if you have major chords all the way. Like if it was A major to D major 7 to G major 7, it just wouldn't sound right. It doesn't work. It's disgusting. But when the chords are diatonic and it's A minor, D7, G major, it works perfectly. Let's do that again. So there you go. It's simply because of the chord quality and characteristics. And of course, pianists know all of this stuff through and through. As bass players, we should also know this stuff as well. So I hope this is useful to you. Anyway, let's go really slowly. So the first one was using the diminished scale. I'll get up a little bit closer and I'll do Hadrian style here and hold my bass like this. I won't play like him though, I can't play like him. But so if we're A minor, we're going to go with our third finger, A, and then we're going to go half step up for B flat with our pinky. We're going to go first finger on C for a whole step up, and then another half step up to C sharp or D flat with our first finger. Now that is a diminished, that is just going up the diminished scale, half step, whole step. Okay, so that sounds like this over the chord. Okay, so it gives you a little bit of tension at the end as it's going to come on to the 5 chord, the D7. So, and the D7's pattern is exactly the same, just a string across. So that's easy. E flat, F, F sharp, and then we're into G. And for the G, I was just doing something really simple. Just root, fourth, fourth. Oh, sorry, root, fifth, root, second, third, and then back to the root. Okay, so that's that pattern. Let's go to pattern 2, which was the descending one, because now we've hit our G and played that. We're in a perfect position to come back down. Right? So that is descending using whole tone scale. So whole tone scale is where there is a full tone between each note. So it sounds like that. That's the characteristic. So we're going on the A minor, we're actually going A with our pinky, G with our first finger, then we're going down another whole tone to F with our pinky here, or you could play it here. It's up to you, whichever you're more comfortable with. I use shapes, so I see it like this, and so I play it like that. Okay. And then the other one is going from the D, same pattern, again, exactly the same pattern, just going from D. So D, C, B flat, A flat, G. And that's it. And, if you want to get really advanced into it, you can figure out what those chords for each of those notes would be. And that will give you'll go down a rabbit hole if you start doing that, but it's a very interesting rabbit hole to go down. And it will blow your mind. But for now, let's just stick with that, and we'll go further down the rabbit hole another time with another lesson. And if you like this video, it's very, very simple, basic. I know I'm not doing any, fancy intro or anything. It's just a plain old smartphone upload. But if you like it and you want to get the tabs, you can get them at my website in the member area. It's $5 per month or $50 per year. There are hundreds of tabs that go with video lessons up there for you to peruse and see. Lots of stuff about groove, technique, slap, improvisation, soloing, approaches, some with backing tracks. A lot of them have backing tracks actually that you can download or stream and loop. And hopefully it will give you a lot to do during the lockdown period. and you know, it's cheap. I asked for a fee just because it takes me time to do this, and I have to, you know, I've got to pay for site maintenance and blah blah blah. You know, it's not like a major money spinner for me or anything. It's just something I do on the side as I run my business here in dealing Japanese basses. So anyway, that's it. The link is in the description on this video if you want to do that. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again. Stay safe and well, and enjoy playing some bass.